Welcome back to another episode of Shall We Proceed? I am your host, Erlene, aka Elise Main. I am super excited about this show today because I have some amazing guests with me today. I have to my left, who are you? Say your name.
I am Miss Janae Strickland-Nunn.
And you are with?
I am, I have a podcast.
You
it's
do?
Confessions from a Red Couch. Yes. Bi-weekly.
Yes, bi-weekly on Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays.
At?
What am I saying?
8 p.m.?
8 p.m., yes.
Yes.
You know, sometimes, it just depends on
Hey, I understand.
You know, technical
and we'll
things.
have your link for your YouTube. You must go and follow her YouTube channel. And I'll put the
Please.
link in the comments in a few.
Please follow my YouTube.
Or go to her page at Linktree. You'll see anywhere you can follow her.
Please like my things.
Yeah. To my far right, we have...
I'm Tammara Savoy. No pages, just Tammara. Hey, guys.
Oh, she's so quiet. And also to my immediate right, we have...
Gabrielle Hargrove, or Gabby Hargrove. I have no pages. I'm a personality all in myself. So.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So thank y'all so much for being here. Off the top, off of the, whatever we have to do first, you have to go share this right now to everywhere. Your mom, your dad, your uncles, your aunties.
Your Uncle Bubba Joe.
Uncle Bubba Joe, all them people. So share this podcast right now.
Yes.
Also, when you see the link pop up in the comments for my YouTube page and Janae's, you have to go and subscribe and then share that.
Please. Like our things.
Because I'm live for the whole entire hour and Janae is as well, but we may be stopping that. Give you a little tease, little nibble,
taste.
And then make you go somewhere else and find us. So let's
to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. It's all live.
All of it.
So let's jump right in.
Let's go.
2 weeks ago, I had an awesome show with some amazing men, and they were sounding off on some topics. All of you watched the show.
Did.
And I want to know your thoughts on that show. Janae.
The men were amazingly articulate. I talked to some of them after the show. I thought they did a very good job. I love what they had to say. Their opinions counted. I also love what they had to say about supporting each other, like black males supporting each other. I feel like it's very important, and it's necessary for their survival. I mean, it was a lot of stuff, like when they were talking about toxic masculinity and, how they weren't, men in general aren't taught to feel, but neither are black men, especially. They're not really taught to show emotions. And so, to talk about them supporting one another and supporting emotions and how they're feeling and being able to communicate it so that they could keep moving forward, I thought that was awesome. So kudos to the men.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Amazing.
So what did y'all think of the men?
Oh, go ahead. Like she said, how they talked about supporting each other and realizing the way their parents raised them, they didn't necessarily agree with it. And it takes growth to realize such an ordeal and to teach your kids differently from what you were taught. That's a hard lesson, and about having mentors. And I don't know a lot of men who have mentors. And when these guys spoke, several of them mentioned having mentors, and I feel that is progressive in helping them to be the type of man that they want to be, and actually be aware of who they are. And so I enjoyed that portion of the show, as well as the Me Too movement, when they spoke about there were different perspectives from different extremes, where some men were like, I don't like being in the same room with
absolutely
uncomfortable situation.
And I was not mad about it. I understand where they was coming from.
Exactly. I understood where he was coming from, but I also was at the point where I was like, I wouldn't even think to go to that extreme, but 2019 versus 1999 is a different day and age. And so it was enlightening. I learned a lot from that portion as well.
Gavin. I think, yes, the men did an amazing job. I really like to hear their voice because I think, like you said in the beginning, men oftentimes get shut down when they're in the room with women, or women have an opinion to give. We just kind of shut the men down, which is not fair. But it was refreshing to hear their voice and to hear them speak about their thoughts about the Me Too movement. Yes, because that was a heavy discussion. And I really liked the fact that, they took some accountability for some of the things that they have done in the past that they weren't aware of and not recognizing what's considered to be uncomfortable for a woman versus what's comfortable for a man. I really enjoyed that. And also, yes, talking about the black male, was it
toxic
masculinity. Me as a mental health professional, I was thinking when I was watching it, I was like, in 20 years of doing mental health, I probably have had 5 male clients. And, and I've been in places where I can openly take in men who can come to see me for therapy, but they choose not to. And then even when they do come to me for therapy, it's very hard to pry that shell open. And
we don't allow men, especially black men, we don't allow black men to be vulnerable. We don't allow them to, when you think about raising a girl and a boy, I think someone brought it up here.
They did.
Suck it up, dust yourself off, don't cry.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're allowed to go through every emotion and do everything we have to do.
Some of us.
Some of us are,
Right.
and they shut down. And then we as women, many of us, we probably experienced it, seen it, know women like this, where it's like, why are you crying? What's going on?
Right. Yeah.
But then get mad when they can't show emotion. Well, he's trying to open up to you
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
because he's going through something.
Yeah.
And you're shutting him down.
Exactly,
So, you know
yeah.
what?
And-
Big
and I
middle
have
finger to
nothing to say.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my
so-
thing is, when a man gets to the point where he is in tears, I think anybody that's like that, when anybody gets to the point where they are in tears, that means that they are trying to communicate and they're
Yes.
frustrated.
Frustration.
Yes.
And it's
Straight
just
frustration.
like everything. They're just frustrated by everything.
Yeah.
And I think, just being a teacher, I recognize that, we have kids who are emotional and they can't speak, but they're crying and
Yeah.
you're like, what's wrong? And I don't know. That's because it's so much,
Right.
and that's they're at their breaking point. Like
Yes.
that's it.
Yep.
So when men get to that point, it's really important that I think women should listen. Like you
Yes.
have to drop everything. You shouldn't judge. You shouldn't be like, there you go
Right, like,
crying
shake
again.
that
Like
off, brush
shake
that
it
And
off.
that's one
like
reason.
I gotta shake it
yeah.
off. You shake it off.
And that's why I didn't want
fair.
women here that day.
Yeah.
My best friend, I love her to death, Gia, love you. But she said, you're like a male advocate. I said, no. My mom raised me to see both sides of things.
Right.
I'm the
Yes.
youngest of 4. I have 2 brothers and a sister. And she says, you need to see all sides of it. It's not always fair.
Yeah, it's
And a lot of
that's true.
times we're taught to manipulate. We're taught to do things in our favor, and they think it's in their favor.
Right.
Right.
And I've been in rooms when we did the. You came to my round table at the house,
I did.
and some of the men, we had some strong men in the house, but you can see where women are like this.
On guard. Yeah.
Yeah. Ready to
It's
pounce,
the,
ready to
it's,
talk.
it's
without
the
getting ready.
listening to react instead of listening
Yeah.
to hear.
Right.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we're always ready to, we have a response.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think, we're all guilty of this. We listen to respond, not listen to
Yeah.
take it in and say, okay, I hear you. I get what you're saying. Let's process that. And I think that's where a lot of miscommunication comes from.
Very much.
Because I can tell, yes, in conversations in mixed company, male and female company, yes, we're ready. We're like, he ain't right. He don't know
And
what
they
he's
just
talking
shut
just
about.
waiting to
down.
hear
They're
what
like,
he
you
got
know
to
what?
say. Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
And you have few that we know they'll keep going and pushing it and pushing it.
Yeah.
And they're giving us honesty. And we don't want to hear it.
That's true.
And they're
That's
trying
so
to tell
true.
you that they're struggling or they're battling or I don't understand. And what I really loved about the conversation was, I think Tim brought up saying, give us a chance to even apologize because we don't even know we did anything wrong.
Right.
That
Right.
too. Yep.
Or I can't articulate what I'm feeling. Give me
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah.
But you're coming and you're coming and you're coming. And I think it was good to have them just speak and I'll do it again, probably mixed crowd and see what happens.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed everyone's dialogue
Yeah.
about
It was
that
really good.
It was good.
It was really good.
and their viewpoints. And I loved when we talked about protecting the black man
Oh yeah.
and how, I think it was Rooster who said, I'm now learning how to acknowledge and be there for another person.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
new. And, Mr. Goodbar said, I learned from watching women
yeah.
to,
Yeah.
hey, I'm here for you. Because
Yeah.
they didn't do that.
They did.
Right.
They
They didn't do that. As much as we need a platform and we're trying to find our way, if you Google protecting the black man, nothing comes up.
It always comes up as
Protecting the
woman.
protecting black woman, protecting black woman. Yeah, you are so true.
And I looked and I said, I'm
I
looking
did it,
up,
yep.
and I said, there's nothing.
Mm-mm.
And that's
Not at
another
all.
thing when Mr. Gobar was talking, he was talking about how he makes sure to go out of his way and compliment other black
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a lot of black men don't do that.
They
No.
don't. Then, like you said, even like the head, he was talking about the head nod. You know,
Yeah.
I used to see that all the time with my dad growing up. You know, like him acknowledging
"What's
the
up, brother?"
presidents
Yeah.
of it. Like, I
Another
see
man.
you, I acknowledge you. I'm here in case to me that's what it always showed. Like if something pop off, I got you.
Right.
I got
like
you.
now it's just like I ain't speaking to that. You know,
Right,
and
right.
it's like why not? Like why are we at this point where we can't just come together? I mean, what have we what has happened?
Right.
What has happened? And that my dad's not that old. My dad is 52. So he's not that old. And where did that breakdown come to where we are now?
I think we live in a very selfish society. I think that we everybody is for self.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean everyone has always been for self, but I think the need to be for self has grown to a heightened level now.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like dog eats dog, and I don't care if I eat your dog, and if you
Right.
see it, and if you cry about it, I'm just gonna
Right.
tap dance on your tears.
Yeah, like
and,
it's whatever. It
yeah,
doesn't
it's
got nothing to do
whatever.
with me. Yeah.
Right.
Right,
And keep on moving and
Yeah.
just keep creating
True.
those toxic relationships or that toxic path.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, it was refreshing to hear that the men on the panel that you had, they are reaching out to other men, because it's something I think as a woman, that's something I do professionally, personally. I know I'm going to do that. But, I never think if a man is going to do that. I've
Right.
even mentored men in my own profession, never thinking, well, maybe they should be linked up with another man to
Yeah.
help them grow in the profession,
Yeah.
because I can't speak to what a man in mental health, I can't.
What
A
they're
man-
going through.
What they're
yeah.
going through.
Or just
and all that stuff.
what a man is going through, period.
Yeah, I
like
can't.
I can relate to you to a certain point, but at the end of the day, I'm a woman and you're
You're
a man.
and that's
You
it.
know, and some of the things you can't relate to me on.
No.
And there's some things that I can't relate to you.
Correct.
And so you need someone of the same sex that can help push you through.
Right.
I do
agree.
believe that.
But they have to be willing.
yeah.
I think it takes, for the men that were here, it's a new thing for them to
Yes.
have those conversations with other men, because it wasn't like that. We can hang
Right.
out, have drinks, talk about sports, but how you feel, because weakness and short weakness is real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one wants to
that's
show you
true.
that you're weak.
Yeah.
And the way men, no matter where you come from, your ethnicity, men are supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
If you're weak at any moment, why are you weak?
Right.
And oh my God, the pressure.
The pressure.
Of the men, when they said that, they said, if I don't get something right the first time, it's almost like I get kicked. And it's like, wow, I mean, I
That is
felt
the truth,
pressure like that
though. Yeah.
too, right? It's like it's a false perfection. It's like, when I'm at work and when I'm doing things, of course I want to get them right, but I give myself room, and I think maybe other people give me room for error. Some people don't, some people do, but for men, if that's the pressure point for everything, that is it's scary. It's
And
heartbreaking.
what's interesting also, when you think about the climate of the way things are going, and how women are just pushing through and men are getting pushed aside. I'm not saying we don't deserve
Right.
equal. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But at what cost?
Yeah.
Because any little thing now they're afraid to speak. They're afraid to even say anything.
That's true.
Because now if you say anything, you're toxic.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
And he's just trying to find clarity.
yeah, and he's just trying to ask
He's
questions.
like, I was asking questions. So if you don't
Yeah.
agree with it in any shape or form, you're just toxic.
Yeah.
And we're throwing these terms out
Yeah.
here. And until you recognize your own PTSD and damage in
That's
the
true.
world
Yeah.
and how
That
you
is so
respond to
true.
people, you're just breaking people down. And there's
That's
so many
true.
women that attack and break men down. Some of the comments right now on our Facebook Live is where we're just tired.
Yeah.
I'm just done.
I'm just done.
And I'm just
Yeah.
and when they meet someone who's calm and willing to listen, no, you're not.
Yeah, like at some point
As-
they're just waiting.
they're
They're
just
waiting
waiting.
for the other shoe to drop, and that's crazy because how can you ever form a relationship when, you know, the man is waiting for the shoe to drop, and so is the woman.
Yeah.
The woman is waiting for you to break down and be like, forget
Yeah.
this, I'm leaving. You know, so at what point do we have, like I said, at some point we're going to have to say, this is enough. At some point, somewhere, we have to.
It just takes, I think it just takes a few people being understanding and then having the conversation. And, you know, now we have all these great platforms. We can have those conversations and open it up to them. But
That's true.
it was refreshing to have them be so transparent.
Yeah.
And like you said, they owned up to, like, I didn't even know I was doing anything.
Yeah.
Or, you know what, I don't even engage. I don't communicate.
Yeah.
I just listen. I just step back, because we get leeway to do a lot of things.
We do. We do. And a lot of women take advantage of it. You know, I feel that, you know, if men had a chance to talk about the inappropriate ways that, you know, women, I do feel, and I feel that it needs to be said, sometimes women do inappropriate things with men, and it makes them feel uncomfortable, and they don't know how to address it because they don't want to be seen as weak.
Right.
Because, man, you should be able to take that. If she did that to me, boy, let me tell you what I do. No, like,
I don't like that. No.
I don't like
Right.
it, and no. Just like we can say, I don't like that. Don't do it. Men should be able to say the same thing and not be seen as, like you said, weak or not sexual enough or whatever. Like, it has to be, it's just, I don't know. I think it's just a breakdown. It's that whole double standard thing.
Yeah.
Like, we
Yes,
want to be
definitely.
treated, women want to be treated a certain way, but then when we get to men, we want, well, he better take it. No.
And let's be real. Our emotional roller coaster is real.
It is.
And we, you know, we can be cool today. I've had a
can,
friend interact with someone they've known for years, and whatever they did, hey, cool, it was good any other time. But that one time blew up. He was like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, well, this is how we've always been. And all of a sudden now, you don't understand. You're just, and it's like, but come on, you
Like, take a
Right,
deep
like,
breath.
take a deep breath. Where are you? Where are you right now?
That's
What's going
right.
on with you
Right.
right now?
Right.
I try really hard not to transfer my frustration on other people.
Right. Because it's not fair.
It's not fair, and see where I am right now in life
Right.
before I just attack.
Yeah.
And I tell people, look, this may not be a good time because I don't know what I'm going to say to you.
Yeah.
You know, but it just takes understanding. It takes a different type of love and realizing that we're all human,
Right.
men and women,
And we're not perfect.
And we're not perfect. We're not perfect at all.
But that's maturity. I think that's something that comes in time. And, you know, like you said, a lot of times with certain situations, the older I get, I learn I have to take a step back. And then also I've learned to be accountable for my actions. And like the men, I think they were spot on with it. You know, if they're living that day to day, you know, that's amazing. And I, you know, and like I wanted to give Rooster a shout out because he did a really good job of saying we need to have more media with intelligent black men.
We do.
You know,
Yeah. We do.
showing these sides of themselves because we don't often see that in the media. We see the thug or we see the rapper or we see, you know, someone who's opposite of men who are well educated and can articulate themselves and who have feelings and who care and who are concerned about things. And I really think that that is a hindrance in the black
According
community.
to Rooster, we don't need Roland Martin.
No,
Right?
But I agree with him because
Well,
Roland
no, he does
Martin.
not like
What I don't
Hello?
I do not like what he said about, you know, the whole the podcast is a new thing and all this stuff. Like, don't be against what this is the
What
new
made
way
you
of
your
get-
livelihood,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, because you were on, like, you technically that's the way you started.
Right.
Yours was a podcast. It
Right.
was on the radio.
Right.
It was on TV. It was. Now we get to stream it. We don't have to turn
was
on
in the
TV show.
background.
You know what
We
I'm saying?
don't.
We don't have
You
to.
know, anytime someone is threatened,
Yeah, and he is threatened because he's not as popular.
he's not as
he used
popular
to be.
anymore.
Yeah.
And, you know, we are able to make our own platform. If you think of celebrity and you think of how people have become famous, the journey is different.
Right.
Right.
The
That's
struggle
true.
is different. There's still a struggle, and you still have
That's
to
true.
hustle because just doing this,
It's still a hustle.
I'm such an introvert. I am not sociable.
You're an introvert.
I am a big. No one believes me. I'm shy. I'm an introvert.
I'm shy
This
too.
I like to
right
be
here.
hidden.
Oh,
I
I
don't want to
believe
be
you.
I'm
seen.
shy too.
But
y'all, this-
sarcasm is real. But just doing this and just saying, you know what, we have a platform you know, when this came about, and I'm like, I have a platform to at least do something that's in my head. And we might as well use it and use your talents to at least benefit someone.
Right.
That wasn't available 20, 30 years ago.
It wasn't.
So why are you knocking it down that we're using the platform?
Right.
Social media has become, it can be a beast, a monster, or it can be
Yes.
the greatest
blessing
thing
or a curse.
ever.
Exactly.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
It's all about how you use it. I
So
try to
true.
use it on the blessing, best thing, but I can see how easy it can get turned.
Yeah.
But for him to say what he said, you're just knocking down just how you educate.
You are
people to come
knocking
up.
down progress, and that's our whole thing. We're supposed to progress.
Right.
So as much as you talk about we need to progress and we need to build, and when something new comes up, you can't knock it down. Like,
No.
it's a new way of getting the information out there.
Right.
It's a fast way, and it's like she said, it ain't easy.
It's
'Cause
not.
Jesus.
You know, sidebar, can y'all please share and go to YouTube and follow?
Follow, like
Woo.
our things, please,
Woo.
guys.
Follow,
Like our things. You know you like to see our faces.
So we talked about, I mean, y'all love us, right? Come on.
You know you
So
love
we
us.
discussed with the men, of course, toxic masculinity. We discussed the Me Too movement. How do you all feel about Me Too movement as women of color? The pros and cons of it. Ooh, it's silent.
I will say this. I know they talked about a slither of feminism. Now, I went to Spelman. I know Spelman is pro-female, but I think feminism is the detriment to black women. I do not think feminism and black women connect well together. I think that there's a lot of striving that black women still have to do in the feminist movement. But I kind of think we have our own thing, you know. I kind of like Black Girl Magic, stuff like that, you know. Like I kind of think we're building our own platform. It may lend from the feminist platform, but this is something in grad school. I read a lot of books on feminism, and I was like,
But let's be real though. White feminists just use black women to promote their platform.
To push their
Right.
platform.
It had
Absolutely.
nothing to do
They're
with
on the
us.
front line. They put us
We
on the
just
front
wanted
lines,
to, because
yeah.
you know, here they are, they're strong black women.
Right.
But when it comes to our bodies and the freedoms that we want.
Oh, no.
No. See, that's too much. You're asking too much.
Right.
But when it comes to freedom for their bodies and what they want to
Give it
do,
to-
it's all it's me and support my sexuality and but you have to respect me. But let's think about how young black girls are treated. Not just black.
You
I'm
knock
talking
us
about
down for our
kids.
skin
Yeah,
color, our
children.
hair,
The way our
Right.
bodies are
our body
shaped.
is shaped,
Right.
all these things.
All of these
Even
things.
down to
Because
the
we can
dolls
be
in the
outspoken
store.
and we're strong,
Yeah.
you use us to push your movement.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you didn't have that same strength.
Man, look at here.
We've always had to be side by side on that in the war
Right.
with our men, and you weren't able to. So let's
Yeah.
use your face and use your strength to get your word out. And all of a sudden, when your
Yes.
word is out, I don't need you doing that.
Oh,
anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Doing
This is
that
not our
anymore.
We're
agenda.
good.
That's not a
It's
part
good.
of our
That's not a part of our
This is-
agenda.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, like
so
when-
I,
hey,
can,
can
I
we push
understand
that?
that. I
Yeah.
understand. And there's pros and cons to everything, but
Definitely.
I'm tired of being used for you to push
You
your
can't
agenda.
use me, baby, because
Your fight's not my fight.
Your
Thank
fight's
you.
never my
Appreciate
fight.
it.
Our fight is
Love you.
different.
Yeah, totally different.
But however, when I go to work, when I think about the workplace, I think women overall, their opinions are undervalued,
Yes.
and people assume it's not just because I'm a black woman that they assume
Right.
that I don't know what I'm doing. They'll assume that I don't know what I'm doing because I'm a woman. Period.
Yeah,
Period.
that's true.
Or you'll reach out to me and ask me to do administrative duties. I'm not your admin.
No.
Yeah.
But because I'm a woman, you think that I'm gonna be the one in the kitchen washing the dishes.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna do no, fuck your dishes.
No, seriously.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck
not
them
doing none of
dishes.
that.
Seriously.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like no, my job is to do this. I mean, I've been to the point where my credentials were questioned by a colleague once he started onto the project. He was like, "Oh, well, so what brings you here? Would you? Well, let me let you know I have this degree, that whatever,
Yeah.
which I shouldn't have to explain shit to
Right,
you because
right.
you didn't hire me.
Right.
Somebody
Yeah,
hired me, and
somebody
I'm
else
qualified, and I've been
I'm
on this
here.
project a minute.
Right. I'm qualified. I'm here. Whatever.
So take it for what it is,
Yeah.
and we'll prove each other, prove ourselves to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's a hard battle.
Yeah.
I have to say, luckily, I have never been in an environment where I've been questioned when it comes to my intelligence or why I'm there. Thank God.
Yeah.
And I work around a bunch of women right now.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
the women I work around, from my director on down, they're all about your skill set, not because of
Right.
skin color, this and that.
Right.
So, and I'm lucky, but I do understand.
Because I'm in a male-dominated
My sister's just a
field,
recruiter
and-
for Zachary
Yeah.
and black
Exactly.
female.
Yeah.
And they question her, and she's like, "Let me show you what I'm doing."
Right.
So I understand, but and I
Yeah.
do hear that. I do understand the struggle that you go through, and
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
lucky that I haven't had to deal with that. Who knows what may
Yeah.
happen later on?
Yeah.
But that's hard when they question everything
Mhm.
because, and us being, we get it double. We're black and we're a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know my struggle.
So you
Stop
don't
it.
know my struggle.
Exactly.
Or when they ask you, so which HBCU did you go to?
Mm.
I didn't go to
None.
HBCU. I went to the University of Missouri.
The whitest school. in
Well,
the
I
United
was about to say I went to HBCU, but when I wear my Spelman, like it was funny. I was in the grocery store. I was wearing my Spelman sweatshirt. This guy walked up to me. He was like, "Spelman's a fake school." I was like, "The hell it is."
Your mama fake.
I said, "Let's talk about."
So was that little paper.
I'm like,
they
let's
got.
talk about
Yeah,
all this loan I just paid back, all
pretty
this
sure.
whatever,
Listen,
all this
pretty
money
sure
I
my
get is
mama
paid.
was
Mafia,
What
aka
you talking
Navia, aka Sally Mae, don't think
Right,
TSU is
like,
fake.
come on. And I said, no, you're talking
Don't
about
play with
Hillman.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
fake.
It's fake.
And he was like, "You look like you were about to fight me, sir. This whole
Sir,
this whole
because I
produce
am, 'cause you
section
stupid.
was
am.
about to go down. I was about to throw an apple at your
I am.
ass.
Don't
Okay,
About to
I
go
am.
down.
it was about to go down in the HEB.
Yeah.
Your mama
Okay.
fake.
It's gonna go down in the HEB.
Your mama fake,
Your mama
your
fake.
daddy fake,
Your whole
daddy
generation.
fake.
fake.
your whole thing
Your
fake.
face fake.
Yeah, people. I don't know
And
why.
you
I
ugly.
went to TSU. Oh, you did. I was like, hey, don't
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 do
knock
that.
listen.
it.
Don't do that.
You got a good education.
Don't do that.
Don't do that one.
Mm.
You trying to come to this
Don't
pharmacy
do
school
that.
though over here teach you this law school teacher.
Right,
Don't
right,
don't play with
right.
me.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't,
Right.
don't do it, baby.
That's not
Don't
you
do
know.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
Do you think it's valid to throw it around the way it's being thrown around right now?
No. I think we call men, like a man being a man and saying, I don't understand this. I don't understand your opinion as a woman. Like, I think that's being counted as toxic.
Mm-hmm.
What needs to be said as toxic is when a woman tells a man no. And he'd be like, fuck you, bitch. Like, that's toxic.
I've
Or-
experienced that on many occasions.
Same. Or,
Uh-huh.
Been going
or
on for
like the
years.
girl who got shot because she didn't want to dance with the man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
just things like that where a man cannot take a woman's rejection, and so there is violence that is either there's verbal violence or physical violence.
Yep.
That to me is toxic. A man saying, "Okay, I hear what you're coming
Can't
from, but I
accept
don't
no.
understand that."
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand it. That's not toxic. That's really him saying, "I'm a
Let
man.
me understand.
You're a
Let's talk.
woman.
Let's
Let's
discuss
talk
it."
about
Yeah.
it."
As they said, explain to me. Give me a chance
Yeah.
to understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes we all do not say things the right way the first time.
Right.
Give me a chance to explain to me. Don't attack me with it.
Yeah.
Right.
But I agree with you. I think it's getting thrown around so easily because everyone's not on the same wave of.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie, you gotta watch how you talk to me though, because if you come at me in a facetious manner,
That
are
is
you
true.
are you telling me you don't
If you're
understand like what
belittling
you're talking
me?
about, or it seemed like
Oh,
a
absolutely,
certain
that tone.
manner that
Oh,
tone
yeah.
and everything.
No,
that
I'm
tone.
not talking about that tone
Yeah.
because that right there get you put in a place.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'll get you put
But
in a
it's like,
place.
I never thought about toxic masculinity. Like you hear about these crazy things. I had a friend who was killed from a murder-suicide last year. It's true. Dealing with certain men is very scary. If a man, if you say, hey, if he's like, can I have your number? You're like, no, I'm not interested. Or you lie and say I'm taking, or you tell the truth, say you taking. Getting cursed out.
Don't nobody want your ugly ass
Right,
to do.
right. But it's like
I have
it's scary,
stories.
and it's
What's
like
your
it's
friend
like
number?
I think we all have stories, and it's like it's very scary
Yeah.
to just say, okay, can I walk away from this
Yeah.
without thinking I'm about to go out to the car and get my head bashed in, or this
Yeah, I
dude's
gotta
gonna
be
follow
on
me home.
alert.
I gotta be on alert now. But it's like, but I don't think that of every black. I think insecure men
Yeah.
do things,
And
like
it's not
that.
even a color thing, like you said. It's just insecure men. I've had men. I've been cursed out. This is one reason why I think I became an introvert. I've always been semi, but I'm old on this panel, so I've been doing this a long time. So PhD in this, you know what I'm saying? So I've had men come up to me, come through a crowd, try to talk to me, and I'm not interested. fuck you fat bitch. And I'm like, hey, first of all, you liked all this across the room. You know
I-
what I'm saying?
I like to be a fat bitch, but then
You were trying
Like
to.
2 seconds ago, sir. Okay,
So I'm
but
gonna-
now
I'm
I'm
gonna
a
tell the
bitch
story.
and I'm ugly.
Yeah, and then fast forward 2 years later when I rejected him, saw me again, forgot it was me.
Yeah, yeah.
right,
He
right.
tried to talk to me
I love
again.
those,
I
yeah.
said I wasn't.
Sir, we
No,
done.
I'm still that same fat bitch.
I'm still that same fat bitch. Thank you. You know what I mean?
Matter of fact, I done gained 4 pounds.
You know, it's sitting right. You,
You
know?
still want all this?
Golly.
So in college, I dealt with some toxic masculinity. And let's just say I had to explain to my coach why my hand was swollen and I couldn't practice the next day. And I think the thing that pissed me off so much about the situation was I knew there were guys there from the football team who knew me, right? They knew who I was. We like kicked it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going through this situation, and I got to put this dude in check. And you just sitting over there like it's funny,
Right,
like ain't
not
nothing
even
going
defending
on.
it, yeah.
And I went off on him once I punched the dude and knocked him out. You know, I told them, and fuck y'all too for not saying nothing.
Right.
Y'all sorry. And I had to run to my car because security was coming.
Now let's pause that point. Michelle, who's on our live, love you, Michelle. She brought a question of saying, why are we as a race so sensitive to tone?
I mean, like the tone of voice.
I guess
I'm
tone of
guessing?
just how we communicate with each other, just how tone.
Let me think.
To me, if you're condescending to me, I'm gonna be sensitive to it because you're treating me like I'm below you, and so tone, that inflection
Tone
or
and
that
tenor.
tone.
Tone and tenor, yes.
Let me let you know whatever
Tone and tenor,
intention
yeah.
you're coming at with me. I receive it. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I see how you're trying to treat me,
Yeah,
and you're
true.
not doing it to fucking
Right.
day.
True.
Right.
True.
Not today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Tone
So-
and tenor are
But do you
big.
think? But do you think? And I fully agree with you. But do you think that we, as women of color,
Yes, we are more
are
sensitive.
extra sensitive? Like we may be taking some things wrong sometimes. We're just seeing it the wrong
We
way.
take things
Can
wrong
I-
sometimes, but we
sometimes
are
do,
more sensitive
but
because people come at
because
us
people
more
come
often.
at us more
Wrong.
often.
Yeah.
They try us more than they try
like
anybody
you will,
else.
I'm sorry, you will see a white woman and you will see a black woman, and the way somebody approaches a white woman will be completely different than the way they will approach you.
Absolutely.
You know? And that whole tone, like, you don't question me. You didn't question her.
Right.
Why are you
Right.
questioning
Then
me?
we turn to the angry black woman.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right.
then you
angry.
get mad. Well, why are you angry? Why are you mad? Because you just sat here and questioned me.
Right,
like
right.
I don't have a right to be here either.
Right.
Don't do me. Don't do me. And I would be happy to be that angry black woman for you. For you at that moment. I don't care. I like you said, I think I'm getting to the age where I do not care.
But I think too, some
Listen.
people
Do not care.
I think some people want to see the reaction out of black women. If you just want me to be brutally honest, I
I
mean,
never thought of it like that.
That is
I'm
true.
in a supervisory position, and I mean, I've worked in a previous job that I had when I was a supervisor. We had kind of like a rainbow of supervisors, and I noticed how people would talk to the male supervisors versus the Latina supervisors versus like maybe someone who is in authority who's white. And then they would come to the black female supervisors, hands on hips, rolling eyes, talking back, talking crazy. Like, is this what you want to do today?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I wasn't
you
gonna
know,
roll
and
my
that-
neck.
This ain't what you want.
Right. So that's the way you're gonna approach me,
Right.
Like, where's the
Right.
respect?
Where's the
like,
respect?
why do all of them get the respect and then you come to me?
Yeah.
And it's like, I worked hard to get in this position.
Exactly.
And it's like, you don't have to respect that, but you will respect me as your
As a per-
superior.
and as a
person.
person. Yeah.
Right. And it's like, what, like, are you looking for that?
And as soon as you disagree or you go against the grain,
Oh.
well, you don't have to be so angry.
Why are
about
you
I
so
know.
angry?
I didn't mean
Why
it
so
like that.
mad?
I
I didn't mean it like that. Well, now you see. Well, now my response lets you know how that made me
That's
feel.
how it came out.
it. Yeah.
That's how it came
So,
up.
watch your tone with me.
Watch your tone.
Watch my fucking tone.
Like
All right.
I,
So going back to when you had to, cold cock and beat up
Child.
some people.
it was one hit
She
a quitter.
say, I mean,
It was
we don't
one
want to.
hit
We're
a
not
quitter.
going to incriminate her.
I had to run to the car afterwards.
So with that, we talked about protecting the black man on the last show, and they gave some great response to that. So where are we on protecting the black woman amongst each other, though?
I think it's I don't know. I protect everybody, honestly. Like, if I see another black woman in trouble, if I see, you know, men that are around, you know, and it looks like a woman is feeling uncomfortable, I will run up to her and be like, hey, you good, girl? You want to come with me? Let's go to the bathroom. We gonna, you know, we'll come back over here. What you need? You know, like, that's my home girl, because I identify she's in trouble, danger.
Right.
Yeah.
She needs help. So I will cut for a woman, you know, just to make sure that they're comfortable or whatever.
I'm not even gonna lie. In a dangerous situation, yes, I'll help out. But and I do compliment women. I'm like, oh, you look nice. Such and such.
That
Oh,
too.
I love these earrings.
Yeah,
blah, blah,
that
blah.
too.
But sometimes I'm standoffish because they come off standoffish
That's
with
true,
me.
yeah.
Like I'll walk into a place, and growing up, I've always known to acknowledge people when you walk into a
Everybody,
room.
yeah.
And now there are some people that walk into a room and don't even
That
acknowledge
is
another
true,
woman here.
child.
So I learned how to
That's
turn my head.
true.
And put my eyes
It's turned
down.
into
That's
like, are we in
true.
competition? Like
Right,
my mom
and
just
I'm
say,
not.
I mean, I ain't fuck your man last night. Why you ain't
Right, exactly.
Right.
People
Like,
don't
I
have
understand.
men
always laugh at that when
Yeah,
people be like,
am I
I
not-
see what you
Like,
like.
I understand it though,
and I
because
get it.
like, what is wrong with you? Like,
I think
everyone
people
thinks
are
you
lacking
want,
manners.
and
That's what I'm thinking.
and I think
Get the
that
manners.
people are on this defense and this war, like they're at war all the time, and they think everyone's trying to come for
you.
I don't want what you have.
I don't.
We are not
I
in
don't
competition.
even know you. We're not in competition.
Right.
I don't
It's
know. Like
okay.
you said, I don't know
I don't
you.
know you.
Right.
But I will tell you, girl, that dress look good. You
Right.
better walk. You know,
Yes.
I
Exactly.
do not, like, I will give you all the confidence you need. Now, you may feel like, why she and you know what? Some men don't know how to handle that either.
No,
like
they
a
don't.
woman complimenting another woman. Oh, so you thought she was sexy? What you talking about, man? I'm just talking about how good she
Right,
look
right.
at her dress.
Don't get
Nice,
excited.
Hey, don't
Right.
get excited.
Right.
It's not really that big of a deal, my dude. Like,
I like it.
I
said
like it.
something
I'm
about
gonna
it,
say
and
something
I'll
to
move
it, and
on.
I'm gonna keep it moving.
But I think it's something like the guy said that that's something that comes more natural to us
Yeah.
because all my life I can't think of a time where I didn't. Maybe in middle school I came to that where I was more complimentary of women, like, hey, I like your earrings, I like your shirt, hey, let's dress it like look cute together because I like your outfit. But it's like now, you know, like, yes, it's like go back to that dog eat dog
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And it's
that's
like,
true.
you know, like even in my profession where I do reach back and help someone because someone helped me get through, you know, when I do try to extend my hand to help a younger person who's trying to get through the trenches, they're like, well, what you want to help me for? Because I see the potential in you. I see that you're worthy. I see me in you.
Yeah.
But it's fine. You know, like
You
Go about it your way.
you can go about it your way.
I've been doing this for a while.
And when you need help, I'll still be
And that's-
here.
and
But I
that-
still will be here
And
if
that
you
goes
need help.
into, you know, as we get older and we mature and we've been through life,
Yeah.
the younger us will be like, oh, well, forget you then. You know, I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Yeah.
now it's like, you know what? You're not ready. And you have to meet
Let me
people where
back
they
off.
are.
Where they
Yeah,
are,
just
yeah.
back off.
So you know I'm here. Because how they receive it right now, they're not going to receive it like that probably later on.
No, I'm in the works on that one.
You have to meet people where they are. And, you know, if they're not ready to receive it, and sometimes people, you have to work at not giving advice
Yeah.
when it's not wanted,
That's
because then
true.
it's not taken the way it should be taken. It's not received at all.
That's
You're
what
right
happens
But-
working with teenagers.
You know, and you see them going into the fire, and sometimes they tell you, let me fall.
Yeah.
And I'm like this, okay. Everyone can't handle that. Like, listen, they're telling you they want to fall. Let they bust their ass.
Right. But you
And
know,
they'll
and you
come
get-
back.
But you know, I was that girl. Because I can be kind of hard headed sometimes, a little stubborn sometimes.
Just a little.
no.
just a little bit. But I used to tell people that I remember when I first had my first job in mental health and I was 23 years old and I was working in Atlanta and I was like, yeah, I got a job, got some money, living in Buckhead. I was living in Atlanta at the time. I was like, yeah, I'm doing my thing. And one of my good friends to this day, she's my mentor now. I remember she was trying to mold me, sculpt me, and I was just fighting. And I just told her one day, I said, you know what? Her name's Michelle. I said, you know what, Michelle? Just let me fall. Let me bust my ass. Let me learn these lessons. And when I need you, I will come to you. And surely as those things happened, I did. And then from that point forward, I learned to, okay, now I don't want to be on the bottom reaching out for help. I kind of want to be standing on my feet and I want to reach for help if the help is available to me. And I don't want to push the help away so far that the help never comes back to me.
Right.
So you have to be, that's why I said, if someone tells me, no, Gabby, right now I don't want your help, okay, that's fine. I'm backing away, but I still feel like I have this scaffold on you. Like, I got my eye on you. You're my target. I still want to help you grow. But until you're ready to receive all this, I'm just going to
Let me step back.
But people have to also, who are trying to help, have to know you have to leave people alone sometimes.
Yeah.
And
That
I
is
understand
true.
you're trying to keep pushing, because sometimes that pushes some people all the way away.
It does.
Because
That's true.
some people are not used to getting help or knowing that you have support.
Or they used to be in help
Or-
and so
yeah.
don't know how to ask for help.
That's
Or
true.
they
Don't-
get help
That's
and then
true.
they get reproached later on. Well, I helped you. I did. So some people
Yeah,
just like, you
that
know
too.
what?
Yeah.
And embarrassment's a big thing, because
Oh, yeah.
sometimes
Yeah.
they're going through things and they've been warned many
Yep.
times about it.
Yep.
Relationships or whatever
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
And I may be wrong. If you keep complaining about it, I don't want to hear it anymore, because you keep complaining about it.
I don't want to hear nothing
I love you,
else
but
about how you feel that man is doing you wrong, when either you gonna shit or you gonna get up off the pot. What you
Yeah,
gonna do?
what you
Because
gonna
I am
do?
sick of hearing how he don't let me do anything, and I don't understand, and he make me feel no man. And it's 5 years later, and we
You
have
gonna
the same-
listen, damn it. You gonna listen.
you going to take these lessons. You going to
It's
get
five, but it's 5 years
And
later.
if you don't
it's the
listen,
same
you're an
thing.
awful friend. But it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, awful friend. I keep listening to you,
With the same
because now you're putting
stuff.
on me your frustration, and now it's draining me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just not fair.
Yes.
There was a meme that went around a few months ago saying, before you start in, ask your friend, are you mentally ready
for this.
for this?
'Cause
And I was
am
like,
not half the
I
time.
love this. So now a friend of mine, her name is Pam, we work together. She's like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
are you mentally ready for me to? Like, no, I'm not.
Right.
Okay, and she'll
You know
walk
what?
away.
I can't even do you today.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Mondays are my days. I'm not doing nobody on Mondays. Because and I'm just like, today's Monday.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
give me a
Not
second.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like with myself sometimes, because I'm kind of like the men. Like, I don't vent my frustrations. I just hold it in, put my head down, and keep pushing until I get to a point where I'm just like, people are trying to tell me stuff. I'm like, did you ask me if I wanted to hear that? Like, I don't want to. And I think asking permission is very big, because you don't know I don't know what you've been going through today. I
Right.
don't know what you've been going through today. And you don't know what I've been going through for the day.
Correct.
So you really need to be like, hey, can I tell you something real quick? And if the person is ready, if they say no, like, you just
Like,
don't have
let
to
it
be
go.
like,
let it
Okay,
go.
understood.
And some people, I have a friend of mine, calls me every day. Love him. Love you. Oh, friend, I just got to vent. And before I can even say, hey, I cannot, I have no capacity for this, I'm like, all right.
And that's
Let's
another
go.
thing
Let's
with
go.
text
Yeah.
being the main
oh, yeah.
way of conversation.
Yeah.
The shit is forced up on you
Yeah,
sometimes. And you
like,
just
you
like,
can't text me in stressful
I can't today.
situations. Or if you have no clue, I'm going to look at that. Whoa! It's going down. It is going down, because you about to get all of this. Because you felt like it was necessary. You gave me free reign. I'm about to...
I have
told
to.
you to leave me alone.
I say, hey, do you really want
What I'm going to give you.
what I'm about to
Right.
give?
'Cause I'm
like,
about to give you
I
all
just
of
got
this.
called Harsh Sunday, and I just was like, I
had to give
didn't
somebody
mean it
the
that way.
real
I must have been
today.
in the mood.
Yeah.
I gave somebody some real quick today. I'm like, hey, they didn't ask for it. I'm like, look, you
But
called me.
sometimes when it's right there and someone's just been messing up, and you see it, and then they ask for your opinion, or they say this is the rut they ran into, and you were like, oh, I've been waiting to tell you this for about 5 years. Here it comes. And
Today is the
and
day,
all
too.
5 years about to come out right now. And I don't care how you feel about it.
And then you turn into the angry woman.
And you're the angry black woman.
You're so mean.
Or you're the
So
mean
mean.
friend. You're that.
You're so
oh, you're just so
mean.
mean, and just wanted to let you know. Or they get like an attitude with you. I ain't gonna tell you nothing else. Fine, don't.
Right.
I don't want to hear
I
it.
promise my feelings not hurt.
My
'cause
feelings
I don't
ain't
know
hurt.
your business.
And my feelings, right? And my feelings ain't hurt that you call me mean either. Cause
Please,
please,
whatever.
That means you won't talk to me.
I've
no
been
more.
called
Thank
mean.
you.
I've been called mean all my life.
All my life, same.
All my life I had to fight. I've been called mean.
Yeah,
You-
because I sure thought
in
you
my
were.
family, you know how Lisa is. I'm just saying,
Yes.
you know how y'all watching. Tony, you know how she is.
I'm not mean. I guess
I'm not mean, but it's like I have. I can only do so much.
So much.
Different
Yeah.
levels of tolerance.
Yeah.
in it.
And
feel
it's
you.
Tolerate
like
what you can.
common sense is real, you know, and it's just I just need you to use it. Like, do
Just
you hear what
use
you're
that
saying
comment.
right now?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and why are we going in circles? Why are we talking about this? What's happening? Make a move.
Right.
Just make a move. I can't
We
do
ain't
it. I
talking
can't
about
do
the
it.
And the older you get, the less time you want to waste.
Oh my
So it's
gosh.
like, let's move around.
That's right, my
Yeah.
friend said. And, you know, shout out to everyone on our
Honest.
Facebook
Very
Live.
honest.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in
commenting.
and
Yeah.
having y'all
Thank
great
guys.
conversation in the comments. I love it.
We do.
We have my brother Tony, Debbie, Gia, Natalie, Anthony, Chanel,
Debbie,
Michelle,
stop doing that.
Tanisha,
Debbie, don't do that. You better make some
Big boy,
boundaries.
Kaylin Russo, who's on the show
Debbie's
for the
my
men.
friend.
Thank you for that. There's a lot of you on here. Anthony.
I agree, Anthony.
Yes, yes. I can't shout
Sunshine.
all of you out. I'm sorry, but thank you so much. Sunshine's on here. Thank you for tuning in. Are you sharing the live?
it.
Did you go to the YouTube links?
Share the love.
Go
You have one
subscribe.
assignment, one thing to do,
and
one
like
thing to do.
and like one more and like it.
Yeah.
Like it on YouTube. You know, just
I'm
do
brutally
those things.
honest.
Subscribe.
Whatever. So
Get notifications. to
with
get
all
emails.
of that, I wanted to talk about a hot topic real quickly that's going around. I'm not a hot topic kind of person, but this is really interesting for me. And you're a former athlete. Back in my heyday as an athlete, I don't know about you,
Oh,
ladies.
cheerleader.
I
Cheerleaders
danced.
are athletes.
Oh, all right. Okay.
If you want to call
Rah,
it
rah.
Zumba.
So with
if you wanna
Janae
call
Reddy.
that-
I ran track.
Baby,
So
I
I
haven't
did
been.
too.
Okay.
So
Ready.
with women in sports right now, with the trans community, and also with the whole testosterone in this one particular athlete we've seen for years running, where are we now in sports? Because you have trans women who are now competing and breaking records, like smashing records. Women who have normal levels or whatever it may be, or full-born women. Don't come for me, people. I'm just saying.
You're describing it the best way you can.
the best way I can.
Yes.
So leave me alone. Now they're competing, and they want to be let in. All these things, and they're breaking records. And so we natural-born women who have so-called normal levels of testosterone and all that cannot compete. They're doing it in track. They're doing it in powerlifting. They're doing it right now in swimming, I think.
It's swimming. It's the MMA fighter.
MMA, yeah.
The trans. Sorry, I don't know if I'm not PC, so I'm still getting used to all the terminology. But the trans woman who's competing in MMA and she fractured the other woman's skull.
Yes.
I honestly, I don't, and I'm gonna say it, and I might get backlash. It's not fair. It's not fair. If your testosterone levels are a certain amount, it's not a fair fight. I'm sorry. And if you are a natural born man, if you are a man who was born who turned into a woman, you get what I'm saying? Your testosterone receptors are different than ours. Like, we all have testosterone. We have both. But men have receptors for their testosterone to be active. So coming from that, it's just not fair. It's not fair. I don't think you should be able to compete until your hormone levels match that of a natural born woman.
And they haven't now
Right,
taken
and that's-
hormones to lower that testosterone.
Yeah.
But maybe I know we were talking about this at work. I think we were talking about the person who got injured, and just different a variety of sports where trans men and women are competing. In the gender
in the
of-
mix,
in the mix. And the thing is that as a woman, I can't speak for what it's like for a woman who's transitioning to a man who wants to play sport. But as a woman, thinking about like when I did run track and field, and when I was a cheerleader, which cheerleading is a sport.
Yes,
But-
it is.
It is a sport.
But
It's a sport.
but to think about it, in cheerleading, I was a base, and a base is a person that lifts a person up. If my other base was someone with testosterone in their body, and when you have to do a dismount, you almost have to pop the person in the air.
Yeah.
I'm going to pop the person in the air based on my strength level, and it's going to be based on my partner's strength
they're
level.
male cheerleaders.
And they're male cheerleaders, but they're going to be picking up a girl by themselves. And I
that is
can't
true.
pick up a girl by
That's true.
themselves. So me and my partner, we're kind of the same strength, and that's why we've been paired together. But if my partner were a trans woman, that testosterone is going to kick in, and this girl may be flying in the air, and who's going to catch her?
That is true.
You know,
that
so
is true.
it's
an
scary.
imbalance.
Right. And so we were saying at work when we were talking about it, we were like, maybe trans people should, and I know I'm a therapist and I should know how to say it, but that's the best way I can do it right now. I think that people who are in the trans community should probably have their own sports for themselves and compete against each other within their changed
It'll
gender.
still be women competing against men, and
that is true.
I mean,
because
from
you
a
still have the
level,
trans men,
right?
Men who were,
our bodies just work
Well, no, not
totally
compared.
different.
I mean like a trans woman and trans woman.
You're saying like it should be
So four
Right.
different groups:
Yeah.
trans women and trans men.
if you've
Yeah.
gone from male to female, then you should compete with
Yeah.
each other versus in like opposite.
I will say this from a coaching standpoint, because there were two transgender athletes in Massachusetts. They were boys. They were slow. If they would have went against my girls, they would have got their butt whooped. I'm just
Let the
saying,
record show.
Let's let the record show. It just depends on how you train your girls. Because if they would have went against my girls, like their times were slow. I'm not gonna lie. It was like 12-2 and a 12. I ran that in high school. Like I ran that in high school, like my junior year. So it really wasn't fast enough. But I get what they're saying. Like, it's not fair. It's not. I mean, and how do you tell a girl who is a great athlete and she's good,
right,
as a female athlete? How do you tell her, well, baby, it's okay. That used to be a man. Like, you can't.
But how do you
man. You lost
But how do
someone
you
who used to
explain
be a
to
man.
somebody who used to be a man that, hey, you can't participate in sports because you're not the gender that
And
you're
see,
not
but
your gender.
I'm not saying
That's where my
I'm not
catch-22
saying,
come in.
I'm not saying don't compete. I am saying, just like with everything,
All right.
once your hormone levels get to where it needs to be, then you should be able to compete.
So
There it is. Hey kids, we're probably still streaming. Yeah, we're still streaming.
Yeah, we're
Don't
still
worry, we've
streaming.
done that before. That's happened before. We're still streaming.
That was like
Yeah, that was
mine
mine was out
a lot
forever.
longer.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
oh,
hilarious.
Yeah. So y'all could just catch up.
It's
It
still-
happened the last
It's all
time.
back to
and
normal.
It's probably
You good,
not.
Mike?
You good over there?
Yeah, we're still going.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. So
Hey,
that happened
listen,
last time.
listen. Let's just say some people swam here.
Yes,
store.
that was
I
me.
mean-
I hope my car starts when I
Yeah.
leave here.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look.
Oh.
Just keep going.
We're still here.
We're still here, guys.
We're still here.
streaming, and,
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Just
Just a little pause.
Just a little
Okay.
pause.
Luckily, we're not scared.
I
of the
don't
dark.
even know how to even address it. I have no
Yeah.
idea. I just think it's not fair.
it's not.
I mean,
My
we'll
thing
get
is,
the head
can we
busted.
have adjusted time? But then they'll say we're being unfair.
unfair
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're giving
there's
them
no-
because I
adjustment
feel like
time.
yeah.
And that's not. I just don't know. It's just a tricky. I don't think. When we talk about transitioning, and it's just so much more that goes into it than when people really want to say
Yeah.
that it's just simple. No, it's
not.
really
It's
not
really
simple.
not. It's really
It's
not.
not simple at all. It's a hard thing to address and to really think about. It's not like, blacks competing with whites. You can't say, well, it's my liberty. No, it's different because this is really biological. Like,
Right,
it's really
right.
something
Right.
that's biological, it's, and so.
And you don't want to segregate people, and you don't want to tell a child you can't do it.
Yeah.
You
and
know.
Tanisha said it's just like if
steroids,
somebody's
yeah.
caught with steroids, you can't compete anymore. It gives you an unfair advantage. So it's the same thing. If your testosterone levels are too high, it gives you
have
an
an
unfair
unfair
advantage.
Well, this is
now
the-
there is. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm
No,
sorry to
no,
cut.
go
There
ahead.
is an athlete from South Africa.
I was gonna bring that
She
up,
was
yeah.
born. She didn't know. She's born both. So her testosterone levels are high because they didn't know.
they didn't know,
Nobody
yeah.
knew that she was
Yeah.
both.
She's intersex.
So yeah,
That's what it's called.
yeah.
Intersex.
So she just, it's now that's different. That's a different thing,
Right.
and I feel that's different.
That's what I was gonna say. That's
Yeah.
a difference. It's different than the trans.
Yeah,
I think with the trans community, you're already taking hormones to, if you're a man transitioning to a woman, you're taking hormones to level out to our hormone level.
right.
Until it levels out, then that's where you need to be until it gets to that level where you're just like
Right.
anyone else. Just like,
Yeah.
but with her,
She was born
intersex.
Yeah, so it's almost
Yeah.
like she could pretty much pick
Yeah.
how she competes.
I didn't know it was even called intersex. I thought it was hermaphrodite.
Hermaphrodite.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
It's the same thing. And I mean, there's a basketball player who was like that. I'm not gonna say her name, but she used to play for a basketball team here in Houston. She is now part of the WNBA. And she is the same way. She did not develop breasts. She has a deep voice,
But they chose, and
they
she
chose,
one.
and that's what she is.
chose,
And you
yeah.
can tell, like, you see her body structure. It's totally different from from a woman who was born with.
It's
you know
it's
what I'm
real
saying?
different.
It's real different.
It's real different.
It's real different. Yeah. So.
Yes.
There's a question from my brother. What's our take on women in combat? That's a different scenario.
That's a different
Yeah.
scenario.
It's fighting a war versus
I-
playing a sport.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
totally
think
different.
that we should. I don't think that we should be able to enter the draft. I know recent talk was like, oh well, women can do everything that men could do. They want to do all the same. I don't think that we should be able to be drafted because I feel like I don't know. We make the babies. And
that's true, but right now, technology, they're pushing us out.
Yeah, they are. We ain't got to make the baby.
You don't need us anymore.
We ain't
If you
got to.
think
We
about
ain't gotta
how
house the
technology
babies.
is moving,
No, you
You know
always
wh-
need me.
that's fine. But they're trying to make incubators now that develops a whole entire child.
You don't
So,
even
Like
have
they
to
could
get
take.
You
they
can
could
just
take your
freeze
egg,
eggs and all
freeze
that.
eggs
You need
and
a
it'll be
small
done.
select
Yeah.
few to carry.
Yeah.
You just need a
Right.
carrier.
Yeah.
So the way it's going
or even
right
though
now,
I may have kids already, who's going to take care of my kids? It should be my choice to go to the military.
but the men didn't have a choice though. When the draft was developed, the men didn't have a choice.
Understood,
Right.
but I birthed these kids.
I
Mama's
hear
babies,
you.
daddy's babies.
That's fine.
I just
That's
think
fine.
about
But without the
me.
men,
I
what are we
think
going
about
to do?
ancient
Also,
civilizations where there were women warriors.
Yes.
in ancient civilizations. So I mean,
I feel like if you want to join, go ahead.
yeah,
Go
I don't
for
think
It's a
I don't
choice.
think
Make it a
I think
choice.
you should
It's a
have a
choice.
choice. I don't
Yeah,
think you
absolutely.
should be forced.
Yeah.
I feel
and I don't think
Right.
men should be forced.
Yeah,
I don't think
so.
anyone
I think
because
there's enough
anybody should
people
be
now.
forced to go to-
I think there's enough men and women now who are willing to go into the
Yeah.
service. The draft shouldn't exist now unless there's some big shortage I don't know about because I don't study military trends.
I don't
But
want to.
I mean, unless there's some shortage, then yeah, okay, bring it back. But I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of awkward about the women because I'm too old to be in the draft anyway. So I don't worry
Listen,
about it.
I'm just worried about it turning to the Handmaid's Tale. Okay, this counts
Child,
because I'm gonna be
running.
somebody's Martha.
I'm not gonna be nothing.
No, I'm gonna be an auntie.
Yeah, we're gonna be an auntie. I'm not gonna be nothing.
You know,
I'll be running.
Yeah, I fully agree. I don't agree with anyone being forced.
Right.
So I didn't, learning about it in school and men having to, I think even now have to put selective service or whatever. in the
Yeah,
check.
yeah.
I don't like that at all
Yeah.
because you're eliminating men
That whole, yeah.
and you have all these women and children. That's fine. But I also feel that if you want to enlist, let you enlist, male or female,
Right.
that's your choice.
It's true.
Not because of I'm a woman, I shouldn't, or this or that. So some women want to go into war. They want to serve their
And
country. They
that's
want to go into
Definitely, I feel
battle.
There should be a choice. It
Is
shouldn't just be forced.
but people are
shouldn't be
it
forced.
shouldn't be forced.
No.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably be that one. I'll probably be that one. Be like, I'm gonna go.
yeah, I'm not.
I didn't even want to join the ROTC in high school. And when I had the choice to go into when I was about to go to college, my dad was a military man, and he was in the army. And he was like, "Don't you want to go into the service?"
Nope.
Hell no! I cannot take commands from people and wake up early in the morning. I'm a
that is
bed hugger. Okay, they would be pulling
Daddy,
me
I
out
don't
there.
run.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. I will say this has been an awesome show.
Thanks for
We've
having
enjoyed
me.
Thank you for. I thank all of you for like battling the thunderstorm and lightning and the
Swimming
and
out
swimming in here. I really
Y'all
appreciate
just trying
it.
to get us taken out. Get
You
here.
know,
That's
power
right.
went out.
I was like, "This is love, man."
You know, y'all
Love.
love me. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Appreciation.
Really do.
How to be a woman of your word.
Yeah, you know
That's
what?
right
Yeah,
there.
That's
That-
a show.
That's a show.
That's a show.
That is a
Right
show.
there.
How to be
Yeah,
a
do
woman of
that.
your word.
That's your next one.
All right, I do it.
Okay,
I
good.
do it. How to be a woman
Yeah,
of your
your
word.
word.
Yes.
Thank you all for tuning in to the live. Everyone, please share
Share.
and follow. If
And
you go
like,
to the
like.
link in my bio, you'll see the Linktree link, and it takes you for the Apple Podcast, Google,
Everything.
Spotify,
You just pick one.
YouTube,
Just pick one.
one.
Facebook, Instagram. Just pick one. And the same thing for Janae for the red Confessions from a Red Couch. I always say it wrong. I'm sorry. And I have the link in the comments as well.
Get on that YouTube, like and subscribe.
Thank you, Tam.
Thank you, Tam.
Like and subscribe.
Tam said she gonna
like
come
I should
after
be
y'all.
able to log off and go to YouTube right now and see my numbers jump up.
You better like it.
Oh, both of
And
them.
I'm going, if I don't, I'm calling everyone out on
Both
this.
of
On
them.
this
Because we know you look at YouTube.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
y'all be looking
there
at
it
YouTube
is.
and stuff. There goes her link. You see all them links.
You see
All
all
of
that.
them.
All
Just
that.
pick one.
Pick one.
Just one.
And then you have
It's not
Janae's link.
It's somewhere in there.
It's in there. I gave
And
it
just whatever. Just like our things, guys. Like
See?
our things.
all of that.
Like just like our things, you know.
Yeah.
Just go on and like our things.
Yes.
If you like my glasses, I have a link for that on there.
Oh, you?
know?
Oh, 'cause I do.
Oh, we
And
need
if you
that
like
link.
my
Those glasses are
earrings,
fabulous.
Like, just like the things, guys.
Come on, come on, guys.
You know,
We're
you wanna
here.
do it.
Come on,
We're
guys.
likable.
Yeah.
Like the things.
And
Just
then if,
like
you,
the
and if
things.
you like it, I may start doing it every week instead of every other week.
Exactly. Like we can do it every other week. We can bring you
Ooh.
things
You
all the
better
time.
like
All the time.
All the
You'll see
time.
me every week.
All the time.
All the
Just,
time.
And y'all should see our host Fabulous dress today.
Yeah,
She
I know.
is
I'm
banging.
I'm serving a
She-
lot right
she's
now.
serving
She's
it.
right now.
Shoulder action.
Okay.
Here you go.
Boys,
Boys.
Doing too
check
much.
her out now.
So once again, you can find me on Facebook as Elise Main. You can find my Instagram at the same name, Twitter as Shalise. And if you go to the link in my bio, you can follow me on my platforms.
Everything.
You can rewatch
Follow
this. And also the same thing for.
Don't worry about me tonight.
Oh,
Follow
see?
her. This is her show.
Thank you. You're so
Follow
sweet.
her.
Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And the show in 2 weeks is going to be Fuck It, Let's Talk About Single Shit.
Single shit.
If you want to be on that show, that's the title of it. Go to my events on my page.
Let's go be in.
So if you want to be a
Is
guest
you
on the
ready
show,
already?
I know I just got married. I want to talk about single shit, please. Please.
if you want to
I
be
have
a
so
guest
much-
on the show, please contact me.
If I
Any
come
form
back
of
and talk about
fashion,
single
and you can
shit.
be on the show. We'll talk about some single folk shit, just like that.
I can't talk
Love
about
you.
it.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks.